Have you ever wondered why it's so easy to spend hours scrolling through social media, but very hard to work on that assignment or report that's due any minute? At the back of your mind, you know that completing the task at hand is the right thing to do, and that you'll benefit from a job well done. But for some reason, it feels more rewarding to watch funny cat videos on YouTube. Despite the fact that you accomplish nothing, and you'll most likely forget what you watched or lose interest altogether. You see, your brain makes you believe that the internet is somehow more rewarding than the work you're supposed to be doing. And for you to understand why this happens, you'll first need to know a bit more about dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter which plays a big role in how we feel pleasure. But some scientists say it has less to do with pleasure and more to do with motivation. The transmitter acts before you perform a particular task, by signaling your brain with an expectation of a reward. Nothing really exciting might be going on, but it's the expectation that something might that keeps you going. However, when it comes to things like exercising or working, these immediate expectations of a reward are often missing, even though consciously we know of the benefits they have. It's usually so much easier to choose the path of instant gratification than to get out of bed in the morning and go to work or go out for a jog. Scientists point out that there are certain strategies that, if applied correctly, can be used to tap into your dopamine system and motivate yourself into doing things you normally feel reluctant to do. So in today's practical wisdom video, I'm going to show you how you can rewire your brain into liking doing things you don't like doing. Number 1. Focus on the smaller goals. Having one hefty goal to accomplish after another is quite overwhelming and stressful. This is one of the many reasons why so many of us end up procrastinating instead of doing the work. A simple way to combat this is by breaking down your goals into smaller, more attainable ones. Creating micro goals helps you stay more focused because instead of seeing one big scary task, you have bite-sized goals set out for yourself. For example, you've got a big presentation due within the coming week. A goal like this can be stressful. Not only do you have to create a PowerPoint presentation, you also have to present it to a large group of people. Using the PowerPoint presentation as an example, you can start by breaking it down into smaller goals. 2 days for thorough research on the topic, then 3 days to set out the presentation and fill in the slides, and finally a couple of days to practice. And there you are. With each micro goal, you feel more accomplished and more motivated. And if you want to take this even further and feel even more successful, create a reward system by giving yourself a small treat after each task. Number 2. Set aside time for meditation. Have you felt anxious and panicky after spending hours scrolling through TikTok or Twitter? Even though your day outside of social media has been calming and/or productive, there's a reason for this. While it may seem like there's nothing wrong with scrolling through social media for hours on end, it's important to realize that our mind will pick up bits and bobs from the online world that have no business being in our mind, making it harder for us to focus on our work in the real world. We can't decipher our own thoughts from those that we picked up from other people. This is where meditation and practicing mindfulness comes in. It allows you to view all your thoughts without being overly attached to them. This is the key part that most people miss. But if you can get it right, you can use it to weed out what is not productive to you. You see, mindfulness is a method used to balance out your dopamine levels, which can be shaken up by unexpected instances, such as a sad puppy video on YouTube. You should give yourself time at the start and end of each day to unplug from the online world so that you can regain control of your mind and use it as a tool, as opposed to letting it control you. Number 3. Step outside your comfort zone. Did you know that our brains are wired for comfort? But did you also know that this can work against you? For example, let's say you desperately want to hit the gym and lose weight, but for over a decade you've built your identity around being overweight and lazy. While on a conscious level you want to move your body and shed some pounds, subconsciously your mind associates that with discomfort and pain, and your mind will do everything in its power to dissuade you from hitting the gym. When we are aware of this, we end up in a painful cycle of wanting to change, but at the same time staying in exactly the same place as before. Although this may sound discomforting, let me tell you the good news. You and I have full control and ability to tell our mind to shut up. The trick is to take small steps every day that take you outside your comfort zone. If you've never worked out before, start doing YouTube videos in your own home. This may be a complete shock to your system, but you're slowly becoming a newer version of you. Then go to the local gym, even if all you do is get on the treadmill that's in the farthest corner of the gym. then hire a trainer, and so on and so forth. Your mind thinks that it's helping you stay safe by telling you not to go out of your comfort zone. But you're smart, and you know many times better, so don't let it control you. Nobody grows into their fullest potential while still in their comfort zone. Shock your system bit by bit until it see that wasn't so bad, was it? And before you know it, you'll be completely out of your comfort zone and enjoying it. Number 4. Think about the cost of inaction. This one links in the previous point. When you try and step out of your comfort zone, your brain will make up all kinds of believable and plausible excuses to keep you stuck. And how do you combat this? By thinking about the cost of inaction. Sticking to the weight loss example, look in the mirror and honestly ask yourself if you'd be okay looking this way for the rest of your life. Or worse, looking even more unhealthy. You'll most likely say no. Then ask yourself if not going to the gym, because your silly little brain thinks you'll fall off the treadmill, worth gaining more weight. Again, you'll most likely say no. So think about how much worse it can all get if you don't take a step forward today. Do you want to be stuck in the same body crying and hoping for the same miracle for another 10 years? My guess is no. Number 5. Exercise. Okay, promise. This is the last point that has anything to do with exercise. After that, there will be no more talk about exercise. That being said, working out can do wonders for your brain. Firstly, it improves your brain's motor skills, which is your ability to learn, and it positively affects memory. Along with this, there are studies which suggest that exercise also releases chemicals in the brain that makes us feel happy. Even 20 minutes of aerobic exercises can help boost your motivation by regulating dopamine levels. The increased activity gets more blood pumping to your brain, creating the perfect condition for it to grow and process. It's for this reason that you find yourself feeling more alert and focused after working out. If you want to find out more, you can check out my exercise video, which has over 7 million views so far. Walking, jogging, Pilates, hiking, whatever form of exercise you pick, your brain will reap the same benefits. So start your day off fresh with a 15-minute workout and notice how amazing you feel for the rest of the day. Number 6. Get enough sleep. There's a reason we're told to get 8 hours of sleep each night. Not getting enough sleep can result in lower dopamine levels during the day, and this in turn leads to lack of motivation. People who don't get enough sleep also tend to be reactive the following day about any negative emotions they've been experiencing. This change in mood and motivation impairs your ability to be productive. When you sleep, your brain gets to work archiving memories, making creative connections, and cleaning out toxins. But these benefits are not just limited to a full night's sleep. A short nap in the afternoon can provide you with a boost of energy, equivalent to roughly 1 or 2 cups of coffee, as well as increased retention of facts and great creativity. In other words, if you aren't feeling alert or motivated, investigate your sleeping patterns and prioritize it above all else. You'll feel the difference immediately after. Number 7. Listen to music. Have you ever put on a playlist of Mozart's best concert pieces and just breezed through your work? Well, I have, and I've done it many times. Research has shown us that music has a positive effect on us when we're faced with mental fatigue caused by routine tasks. Performing similar tasks day in and day out tires out our brain. On the other hand, listening to music gives your brain a kickstart by helping it escape from the mundaneness of it all. There are specific types of music that can significantly take our mind out of the fatigue state, such as EDM and classical. So the takeaway here is, find a playlist, put it on shuffle, and get a ton done. Number 8. Change your work environment. While you may not have the luxury of changing your environment at work, if you work from home, take advantage of your entire house. For example, have one area that is solely for your heavy-duty tasks, and then move to a different area for relaxation and creativity. If you work indoors and also take your break indoors, break this habit. Research shows that going outside and spending as little as 5 minutes in beautiful nature can improve your mood, increase motivation, and boost self-esteem. Dopamine and serotonin rise when you take a short walk in the sun. Therefore, don't have that lunch at the same desk you work in. Go outside, get some fresh air, or just make yourself a small nook in your work area which is just to be used for relaxation and rejuvenation. Remember when we talked about how tired your brain gets of mundane tasks? The same applies for your environment. Make your work environment nice and welcoming, and go take breaks elsewhere, preferably in nature. Challenging tasks will drain your energy and joy, no matter how much you try to avoid them. So instead of fighting the inevitable, rewire and reprogram the way your brain perceives them. You'll find that it's much easier for you to do difficult tasks when you've worked on changing how you think. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tips. Until next time, take care.